All right, week one discussion, class 60ITL. Sorry, 608. So we are supposed to discuss two to three supports that can be used to help at-risk learners, including students who are EL or have a 504 IEP plan. And personally, I think two of those, which was really good. The support that I would use for the EL learners would definitely be the sentence frames. I think that was like legit and pretty informative, and I think it was actually a really cool way to get kids to ask questions, to engage in the lessons, to engage with their peers. I think it is a really, really great tool. And I think if I were ever in that situation, I would probably use those because, getting kids to learn small things instead of like maybe 4 or 5 words rather than a whole sentence is going to help. It's going to be easier for them. And I think it's going to make them feel less of a, less embarrassed and less wanting to use or wanting to learn, because they're not going to feel so bad because they know how to say certain things. They just got to plug in certain words, right, to make it better. And then also the other one that I would use is differentiated instruction for diverse learners. I think that this differentiated instruction, I think that, it can really, really help because of the ongoing assessments. And with a 504 plan or an IEP, I think that's imperative because of the fact that, you're always having to change things. You're always having to do certain things with the 504 plans or the IEP kids. And so just depending, on those needs and the diversity of those needs, I think that helps because differentiated instruction allows you that diversity. It allows you to use different levels, right, of intervention as well. And it helps you, to like figure out the space in your class, which is important when it comes to a 504 IEP, right? Because you have to decide, okay, do I have to put this student next to me? Do I have to put them, far from other people, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that this differentiated instruction is pretty good because obviously it's in the name, right, for diverse learners. So a bunch of different kids that have different needs that it will allow you to work with. And I think that's pretty important. Supporting students through a response intervention, I really didn't touch on that too much, and I don't know if I would really use that. And even the using technology to support diverse learning needs at risk learners, I think it can help, but I think it could also hinder. If students rely too much on technology, they tend to lose something. It's kind of like if you're, a Spanish speaker and then you don't practice, right? You don't speak Spanish, you don't listen to the music, you don't visit anybody or talk to anybody who speaks Spanish or even write it. So you kind of start to lose it. And I think that that's kind of one of the things, the only downfall I see with that, using technology to support diverse learning needs, even though you can still, implement those things, and technology is still, assistive. So it just depends on, what you want to use. But I think differentiated instruction would be a good asset, and I think using sentence frames for EL learners is just, phenomenal. So thanks for listening to me.